Hello and welcome, Neko here, and unlike my last video, this is going to be more personal perspective rather than a lot of the parroting I did in my last video. Whereas I still also have the two videos that I've yet to upload, but whatever, that's going to be uploaded eventually. Um, but yes, this is going to be based on a video I saw the day prior to this recording, which is Andy Edwards doing his latest Philosophy Sunday. We don't need no music education, which is an interesting thing. So, what are my thoughts here? Well, basically, a short thing is that he's not talking about how we don't need to learn music. Um, his video, a lot of it comes down to things like the history of a nearby factory, and how that relates to community and culture, and that I do understand, and talk about, like, although he does not specifically mention the seas of time, he does basically talk about some of the things that define the seas of time. A term that I learned from 12th Tone, I think. I forget. Um, but yes, time goes on, things change, you know, and that's the same when it comes to music. And I'm not going to go into the whole thing because, like I said, I'm not going to do the whole parroting thing, especially since that would make this video longer than necessary. But he does talk about how, like, times change and such. And now you have, like, when it comes to people learning music, you have this whole thing of talent versus, well, not so much talent, but creativity versus skill. The whole thing, you can't really teach creativity, you can only teach skill. And those who learn to use skills, it's okay, I'm kind of blundering it, but basically there's a difference between those who use music to express and be creative, and those who go into the technical element. There really shouldn't be a difference, but I do understand what he's talking about because I do see this difference. Much like as I said in a previous video where I made mention of or was it the video that's yet to be uploaded? I mentioned a song called "There Is a Light," and like, that is a very creative and passionate song, but at the same time, some people look at it on a technical element and say that it's not good because of some technicalities here and there and such, differences in taste and stuff like that. Now, the thing that I get from watching this video, because, like, there is something that's been on my mind that I've been wanting to talk about, and surprisingly enough, Andy Edwards' video did actually help me with understanding something that I've been trying to struggle with, which is not so much a thing of creativity or skill, developing skills, education, stuff like that, but the two approaches to music that I always see people at conflict with, which is being limited versus being open. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, a lot of people say that creativity comes from being limited. You get restrictions, and then suddenly only thing you can do is be creative. And I can, in a sense, understand that when it comes to certain people, which is that if I forgot what the term is called, analysis paralysis. You got some people, like, you drop them off into, like, a big open field and be like, okay, go out and have fun. They have no idea what they're doing. They're looking around and they have what's called the analysis paralysis, in which case they have no idea what to do. They need direction. Some people do that. And in a strange way, I can argue certain points that Andy has made in his video by talking about how the strictness of the education system technicalities and stuff like that can help. And for certain people whose nature is like this, yes, it can help. But then there's the question of, can limitations foster creativity? And well, no, it can't always work like that, you know. And this is where I find myself, of course, agreeing with Andy's videos about how, because the thing is, see me, my mind is more, my nature is more of openness. Like, if you give me an open space to do as I please, I'm going to come up with something and do something no matter what. I'm going to be able to think up something. But now this is from the perspective of someone who can't operate well in a restricted sense. If I am restricted, have a lot of restrictions, like with the creativity and such, then I'm going to be stuck going, okay, I can't do this, I can't do that. What can I do? You know? And then it's like, okay, I could do that, but then I have to worry about this, this, and this. And then that comes with its own form of analysis paralysis, because the focus ends up being, for someone of my nature, the more open nature, you have the analysis paralysis of, what can't I do? And what can't I do eventually turns into what I should not do. You know? Like, yeah, it would be easier for me to just dress up in, just wear a polo and nice pants like I've done in past videos, get in front of a camera and just talk. But I also want to like show off digital designs and stuff like that. I want to experiment. If I was stuck in that rigid rule of just doing that, I'm not really going to be motivated to continue forward. Whereas with this, like the whole thing with the virtual, I could just design my model as it is, as I want. Although I'm hitting snags with my current design. And yeah, offline I have a new model in the works, but kept having unexpected problems. But yeah, still, like, at least I have that as an additional option to show my interest, rather than just say, oh, this is what I'm interested in. No, I could just show you it. If I want to display stuff in the background, I could just do that. Although I'm doing the whole weird scrolling thing because I don't know, something about that is nostalgic to me. But yeah, you have this whole thing of open versus restricted, and well, open versus limited. And I do believe that this does align with a lot of what Andy had said in his video, that yeah, for a lot of people, they do need an open space, need like openness in order to be creative. They need multiple ways to express themselves. Otherwise, they can't. Otherwise, they'd be too bogged down by what I can't do, or rather, what they can't do, or perhaps best to say, what we can't do. Those of us who are creative in that sense, and then you get the analysis paralysis because of that, and eventually you just end up, when it comes to people of our mindset, you end up just not doing anything, But at the same time, there are some people who do need direction. They need a point to focus, and for them, having limitations does work. And an education system that focuses on the technique, I do believe, can help guide those people. Although, again, I'm not going to fully disagree with what Andy Edwards is saying, because while, yeah, you do need to be guided to it, at the same time, there are certain things that's taught in various I forgot what the word for it, but various, I guess you could say, art disciplines, that you can only do art a certain way, otherwise you're not an artist, I mean, like what I'm doing here, like, I remember, Because I know that to a lot of people, what I'm doing is not a form of art. Because, oh no, it's a digital virtual design, it's a 3D image, oh no. And I mean, at least I'm not letting artificial intelligence direct my work, you know. And yeah, that's also another thing where some people are just open to having their work directed rather than expressing what they want to express. So a problem here with the education is that it doesn't help really with directing people in a way that can help them express themselves. Yeah, this is more of a thought that I've been wanting to get into. Like I said, I have a problem getting into it because I didn't know exactly where to go with it until Andy Edwards did his video, his Philosophy Sunday video. And it got me thinking about this, the whole thing of working on your craft through limitations versus being open. And I think it really is just a matter of what your nature is. So these are basically my thoughts. Anyone want to share their opinion, you're more than welcome to do so. I know I get basically no views on these videos of mine, but you know what? Anyone who comes in wants to say something, you're more than welcome to do so. So with all that said, I am Neko, and I thank you for watching.